morning, everyone. Welcome to Rotor Talk Live, Season 6, Episode 7, DJI Mini to SE on FCC Database. First of all, happy Valentine's Day. Hope if you have a sweetheart or your loved one that you let them know that you love them. You don't have to get them roses. You don't have to get them chocolates. You don't even have to take them out to dinner. But communicate the words I love you to them. All right. My spiel's over for Valentine's Day. I just wanted to make sure of that. Okay. Let's see who all we have in the house here tonight. Let me pull that up here for a second. All right. Quadcopters in Tech, Drone Shots, 107 Drones, Trini, Michael Wright is here, USA Drone Flyer, Leonard Oglesby is here, David Martin Graff is here, Johnny is here tonight. Let's see who else. Lauren is here tonight. Going down here through. Richard is here tonight. Welcome, Richard. George Kelly is here. And Billy Tompkins is here. All right. Wouldn't you know it? It hit the FCC database. We're going to get to that in a minute. And I do apologize in advance. I've still got a COVID cough. So I may be muting every now and then just to let you guys know that. And Rex is in the house. Welcome, Rex. I may be muting every now and then tonight to do that. So just to let you guys know that. Okay. Let's see. What are we going to talk about first? Okay. We're going to talk about this first. It's Valentine's Day. DJI has a sale today. Let's go ahead and bring up this information. Now, this was published last week out on Drone DJ, but I still thought we'd like to go over this here just for grins and giggles, just in case you guys didn't know about this. You can expect a free travel bag if you pick up a Mini 3 Pro, an accessory bag with the Avata, Valentine's discounts on handheld devices. Pocket 2 Creator Combo is for $449, which is 10% off. Creator Combo, in addition to the main unit, includes a do-it-all handle with tripod base, wireless microphone transmitter, wide-angle lens, and some other useful accessories. The Actions 3, you can take your massive discounts up for grabs on the Action 2 instead. So that's what's going on with DJI. Just I wanted to present it because it's out there, and you know, my webcam is having a hard time focusing. I don't know why. I've had it for a while. I've had it over 5 years. So I don't know. It's just been like this the past couple of weeks. So we'll take a look at this and see. If not, I got to get this addressed ASAP. All right. The other thing that I want to go over, there was a remote ID approved by the FAA from the UK. So let's go ahead and take a look at that here. And I thought I had that up on Drone DJ. Let me go ahead and bring that up here. Okay. All right. Sorry about that. I wanted to make sure that we talk about this. Okay. Drone Defense's Aero Ping becomes the first UK-made remote ID module to get FAA approval. Again, all these articles are out on Build a Drone Reviewer Facebook group and page, so you guys can take a look at them later, okay? You can tell it's a pretty small module, fits on top of the drone here. Drone Defense revealed its Aero Ping remote ID device has gotten green light after long and taxing testing process by the FAA. The exception of vehicles under 250, FAA remote rules apply to all drones starting September 16th. Really doesn't say a whole lot about this. There's a link here, and let's see if there's anything out there on this. Aeroping becomes used for, it's for more information. Yeah, let's take a look at this. I'm kind of interested here. How it works. Obviously through an app. Get in touch. They don't even have any pricing on this yet. So just to kind of let you know, you can follow some of the links in here if you guys want to take a look and check this out. This is coming up, and this is going to be available. So I thought I'd go over this so you guys can get a taste of what's going on here with this. I think it's kind of important. Just to let you guys know, I'm going to back up here just a second. One of the things I do, and I've been meaning to do either a video or maybe a live stream on this, how I prep for the shows. And one of the things I do is I go to different sources. I go to Drone DJ, go to Drone XL. I go to Sally French's website. I look out on Twitter. I look out on Facebook. I see what others have posted, and I sift through all this stuff because there's a lot of stuff out there, and a lot of stuff is applicable to commercial and businesses. And really, we're a channel that's more geared toward consumers and hobbyists. So that's why, and it does take me some time to go through all this. And that's why I wait until Tuesday, usually around lunchtime when I'm home, that I take time to put the show together at that point in time, just to let you guys know. All right. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get back into Drone DJ because there was another article that I meant to have up here, but I didn't. Okay, I got this. All right. Which DJI drones have remote ID? Here's the complete list, and it's been updated. So I did want to go over this because I think this is important, and I think it is. I'll make sure. You know what? Let's go ahead and do this right now. I'm going to go ahead and post this in the chat so you guys can have that. It's bookmarked for you guys. Let's take a look and see here. Okay. Mavic Pro Platinum. That's very interesting. Okay. They don't have the regular Mavic yet, Mavic Pro, but the Mavic Pro Platinum, Air 2S, Mavic 3, Mavic 3 Classic, Cine, Avata, Mini 3, Mini 3 Pro, Mavic 3 Enterprise, Mavic 3 Thermal, Mavic 3 Multispectral, Matrice 30, Matrice 30 Thermal, M300 RTK, Agris T40, Agris T30. Okay. And you're going to know that there's going to be more of these added as time goes on here. And one of the things that I do want to say is, there's some ones that are notably missing from this list, such as the Phantom, okay, the Phantom 4, and also the original Mavic Pro, and some other ones like the Spark, the original Air. So we'll see. My guess is they will be. It's just taking time to do this. Remember, this is a massive effort on DJI's part to get these drones up and running and be compatible with remote ID. So stay tuned to this, and keep a tab on this article, copy it, paste it, save it, and go to it every now and then, because they're going to do, I'm sure Drone DJ is going to do updates on this. I think it's important. Definitely want to keep track of this, but it's important to know which ones do. And again, the ones especially the one that I'm finding amazing that's not there yet is the Phantom 4, because it was a very popular drone, and there are still lots out there and lots of people still use them. So stay tuned for that. That's going to be coming up. Okay. All right. Now, you all know what SDK stands for. It's Software Development Kit. And for a former programmer like me, that's golden stuff, all right? Well, what DJI has done, and I thought I had apparently, yeah, okay. DJI is working on the SDK for Mini 3 and Mini 3 Pro, and there's an article on this. And I want to spend some time and go over this because this is important. This means that people who have programming skills can be able to go in there and make changes to the software. So DJI MSDK software development kit that gives developers ready access to inherent capabilities of tech giant drones. Okay. On March 22, DJI released a new Android-only version of this. The company explained its chief focus would be on enterprise-level products. But now DJI has clarified the team has finally shifted focus to consumer drones. Support for new Mini 3, Mini 3 Pro could come as early as April 2023. DJI did, however, enable native Waypoint flight support in the Mavic 3 consumer drone series through a firmware update. The new automated flight mode does enable Mavic 3 consumer drones to follow a specified path over and over again with customization options. Okay, this is huge. This is really big because if they do this for the Mini 3 and Mini 3 Pro, that's going to open it up for developers to code a lot of wonderful things out there. So stay tuned to this, bookmark this. You're going to want to pay attention to this because this is going to lead into a lot of great stuff here, okay? I can't emphasize this enough. This is going to be huge because there's a lot, and some of you out there know how to write code and can do this, and my hat is off to you. That's for sure, 100%, okay? No doubt about that. So that's something you guys want to stay tuned to. Another interlude here. Guys, you do not want to get COVID, okay? I am still nasal, congested, coughing, it's still here. I am feeling better. Temps up a little bit, but, other than that, I'm feeling good. It's just this cough is annoying, sounding like, I told my wife, I said, I feel like I sound like Kim Carnes, Betty Davis eyes, okay? Yeah, no, I'm not real fond of that. I'd like to get my normal voice back. I don't know when that's going to come back, but I'm more than ready for that. Okay. Yeah, Jay Bird. It's not fun. It's just not fun. And I'm trying to do things using hand sanitizer like crazy when I go out is one of the things that we're doing for sure. Okay. All right. Anyway, and David, yes, I do. Just to let you know. All right. Well, lo and behold, we got a lot to talk about on the Mini 2 SE tonight, okay? And the first thing is, FACC. It's on the FCC database, okay? We're going to spend a few minutes going over that and going through some of the options on here because navigating through this is a little difficult unless you've been out here before and you know what to look for because there's a lot of information out here. Some of it doesn't really pertain to us as consumers, but quite a bit of it, you can get some useful information out here. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to go ahead and share this right now. Okay. Now, this is what the FCC does. It assigns it an ID in the database, and this is it. It's SS3-MT2SD22, okay? And then SS3M, and it's different. What they do here, these are the other acronyms it can be found under. Just kind of give you a little bit of a primer. And I'm sorry, I'm going to try to mute when I'm coughing, so forgive me here. These are search IDs, and this is what these are in here for. Like you put the hashtags in a YouTube and tags in a YouTube video. This is what these are. This is so this can be found. Okay. FCC ID is a product ID assigned by the FCC to identify wireless products in the market. The remaining characters are often associated with the product model, but they can be random. Okay. And here it's the application's DJI Mini 2 SE, DTS digital transmission system. Here's a short link to it. Registered by. Now there's two applications here. And the first thing you're going to come across with is the frequency range. And this is what the FCC has tested this for. All these frequencies, the power output, the rules that apply to it, grant notes, and app. Now, you click on some of these. Some of these are going to take you places, okay? And we'll explain things. You got to wait for some of these to pop up. But one of the things that I do want to show you here, okay, we're going to go to the product label, all right? And unfortunately, you got to put up with a lot of pop-ups and a lot of ads on this. Okay. Now here you can take a look and see this is the label in the battery compartment of the drone on the door, and this is the label inside the drone itself right here. Okay. This is the drone upside down, by the way. This is the drone right side up. And you can see that there's a label on the door, and there's a label inside on the floor of the battery panel in here. You can take a look. There's more information. Now, this actually got out to the FCC database, and this is another one. Date submitted. This was submitted on the 9th, okay? And if I'm not mistaken, that was the day it was released last week, or the day that DJI announced it. So, you know, my gut feeling was that that's what would happen, because when the Spark was released, FCC Grant ID was released on the same day at the same time. So this is where this comes from. Okay. Now we're going to go back here to some other information. Now, this is a request for confidentiality. And apparently they submitted this on November 2nd, 2022. Looks like short term for external photos, short term for internal photos, permanent for operation description, theory of operation, schematics, short term for test setup, permanent for tune-up procedure, short term for user's manual, and permanent for part list antenna construction. Okay. And this is good that we go through this here, okay? And this is not only, this is any type of device. Reason, and I've had a lot of people ask me, why is it through the FCC? Because it's radio communications. Anything that's radio communications here in the United States, you know, or uses, you know, a radio signal, has to be approved by the FCC, okay? And this is information that you get with this. And the applicant request, this is what premature, okay. Applicant request exhibits be withheld from public view for a period of 180 days from the date of the grant of equipment authorization, okay. Now, if you look at the date of grant of equipment authorization here, all right, that was on the 12th, I believe. Or no, okay. This is it. It would be the 2nd of November. Okay, so it's 180 days from that for the confidentiality. And I didn't do the math, just to let you guys know. I didn't do the math on this, but I'm assuming that's probably sometime, I'm guessing in April or so. And obviously the drone's going to be out March 22nd and available to purchase before then. So, you know, but they give it this time in case there's any kind of delays. And you know, and that's smart on their end. Now there's some other information here. There's an antenna data sheet. We're going to try to pull this up here. Apparently nothing's loading on this. Okay, here it is. DJI antenna data sheet. Now, some of these, like I said, there's not a lot of information unless you're an electrical engineer. You're going to be able to garner off of this. It's showing radiation pattern, radiation return loss, phi 90, theta 90. Remember geometry and trigonometry here, okay? Structure drawing, and I don't even know that's a structure of right there. So again, that's what this is like. I just want to show you several things in here because I know you guys have heard me talk about this a lot. I just wanted to go ahead and go through some of this here, okay? Let's look at the agent letter here. And this is dated on 10/24/22, and TUV Rhineland of North America. Apparently, they're the ones that were contracted to do the testing for the FCC on here, and there's some signature on that. So that's basically what that means. This is the company that did the testing on behalf of DJI for the FCC. Okay, because the FCC they act on behalf. Excuse me, not DJI. They act on behalf of the FCC. They're testing this. They're an independent third party. Okay, they're not connected to DJI. They're not connected to the FCC, but they have to report their results to the FCC in a timely manner. Okay, now there's the applicant, and you can see it's DJI. It has their complete address here. The FCC ID, and we already went over that. Person at the applicant's address to receive grant for contact. And of course, that we just saw that. Long-term confidentiality, short-term confidentiality, software-defined cognitive radio, equipment class, related OET knowledge, database inquiry, modular equipment, does not apply, application purpose, original equipment, composite related equipment, okay? Test firm information, as I said, TUV Rhineland, okay? Grant comments, equipment authorization waiver, anti-drug abuse certificate. There's a lot of information here. So, and again, this link is up on Bill Jonever Facebook group and page. Explore this to your heart's content. There's a lot of information on here. And if you're familiar with electronics, you can probably decipher quite a bit of this. If you don't have a degree in electrical engineering, you can be able to get some information out of this, but not a lot. Okay. I'm just letting you guys know. But again, this information is out there for you guys to take a look at, decipher, sift through, and, make your own, draw your own conclusions from it. But I wanted to show you some of the highlights out there. And the important thing is, before anything that uses radio signals is sold in the United States, it has to have this, okay? DJI cannot sell this, for example, until they receive their grant from the FCC. And you can see they already did. Now, it's the same way, and I'll just draw a comparison here. There's a couple of ham radios out there that are getting ready, that they've already talked about, a couple of the companies, and the big companies are over in Japan versus China for ham radio. The big thing with those is, it has not been approved by the FCC yet. While it's been announced by the manufacturer, they can't even list specifications yet for it. They can show pictures, but they can't list any specifications. They can't list any pricing, no information on that, okay, until it gets approved by the FCC. So FCC holds a lot of clout here. And I got to say this, the FAA could take a big lesson from them, okay, a really big lesson, because they really kind of know what they're doing in terms of, they have their act together. The FAA really kind of seems like it's a fire drill, and that nobody knows what the other one's doing, especially with remote ID. it's just been a mess. It's just been and thankfully a couple of weeks ago, go back to Drone Nation 2 weeks ago. They had a great show on remote ID. They had Greg from the Pilot Institute and another gentleman. Go back and watch that, because that was very valuable information, and you'll find out a lot from that. And you want to pocket that, okay, including what community-based organizations you should join, where you can fly. There's a lot of great information. So go back there to that and take a look at that. Incidentally, here's Mr. Ron Brown.
Hello, Bill. I thought I heard my name.
Mr. Brown, I want to offer my deepest sympathies on the loss of your Eagles on Sunday.
And we lost both our coordinators there. Our offensive coordinator took the job in Indy, and our defensive coordinator took the job in Arizona.
I saw that.
We may have to borrow Mike Tomlin next year for some help.
We could sell him for a warm 6-pack of Bud Light, okay?
So I won't have to trade a first-round pick for him or anything.
No, just a 6-pack of Bud Light, and it doesn't even have to be cold, okay?
I thought you were going to say a bag of old practice balls or something.
Well, they're more valuable than Tomlin, but I got to say this: as far as Super Bowls were concerned, that was a great game, and you know what? Neither quarterback can hang their head, all right? Because they both played exceptionally well. It was a well-played game. I mean, there was that call at the end, and and you and I talked about that, and I don't want to digress too much here, but
we're losing people already here.
Yeah. There's a lot of people here to hear about drones. Okay. But if you're going to call something like that, call that in the first quarter and the opening drive through the rest of the game. Don't pick the fourth quarter critical play.
Yeah,
I've said my piece. Okay. All right.
Right.
I
heard you talking about the FCC filing for the new Mini 2 SE drone.
Yes, I pulled that up, and we went through that, and I opened up a lot of the confidentiality agreement. It was 180 days from I think November 2nd for the long-term confidentiality before it expires, and I think that's plenty of time to get. I think March 22nd is well within that window. So that's not going to be a problem for DJI when it comes time to actually release it and sell it. And what's real interesting, Ron, is, correct me if I'm wrong, it came out, DJI announced it on the 9th. The date on the FCC filing was the 9th, okay?
Yeah. And well, of course, they didn't really announce it the 9th in the U.S. or Canada, but they did in other parts of the world. In fact, did I send you? There's already a DJI promotional video intended for the Australian market. It's clearly up on YouTube for anybody to watch it. There's also a reseller, that resells drones in Australia. Obviously, a DJI dealer. He's got an unboxing of the Flymore kit up already. So what I got from Ross Langdon, who's located over there in the Brisbane area of Australia, you can go on the DJI website in Australia. It's on there. The price in Australian money is $5.99, but that doesn't mean anything to us. You can. I think you could pre-order it now, and it'll start shipping. Towards the end of February.
Okay.
So it's. Yeah. And I can't vouch for any of the parts of the world. No, New Zealand. I also heard it's on sale in New Zealand. So, your FCC filing thing is right. Is correct. I mean, that's what's holding us back here. In the rest of the world, it seems to be out release. So, probably in another week or two, it'll reach the hands of the reviewers. So we'll probably know all the details way before the 22nd. I mean, we know so much from the leaks, anyways. But anything we don't know, we'll know.
Yeah, and what we're going to do is, I know we've talked about it, but I'm going to bring up the article from Drone DJ that talks about the pricing and the equipment on there, because I don't know about you, Ron, but I got on my community tab on YouTube, I had so many people say, why did DJI even bother to build this drone? Okay. Was basically the reaction that I got.
Yeah.
Understood. But anyway, let's go on.
Before you start that, I'll say they really didn't build a drone. All they did was take the Mini 2, put an SE on it, and strip out the 4K video and one or two other things. So they didn't really build a new drone. They just downgraded the Mini 2. Probably hardware update.
Mean, they really
it was no, it didn't cost them anything to do this except have some engineer basically dumbed down the Mini 2. It's the Mini 2.
It is. You're 100% right, Ron. And you know, and again, you know, the first thing I do want to hit on here, okay? Okay, 2.7K delivers photos at 12 megapixels, okay? The Mini 2 SE is priced at $369 for the basic package. DJI stresses the perfect balance between ease of use, reliability, and affordability, okay? Starts retailing on March 22nd. Now, the much more capable Mini 2 is available to buy for $449 right now, with its renewed version selling as low as $379. One of the differences between Mini 2 and Mini 2 SE, despite sporting the same camera sensor, it's a 2.7K. The Mini 2 delivers 4K videos, okay? And
let me stop you just for a second, Bill, so we don't.
Sure.
Well, as far as video quality, they even crippled the 2.7. In the Mini 2, you could do 2.7 60 frames per second. They took the 60 frames per second away on the SE. You have to go all the way down to 1080p to get 60 frames per second.
See, you know, you're right with this. This wasn't even retooling or casting new molds or anything. This was just the Mini 2 dumbed down, really, in essence here. Okay,
and given a price cut.
The Mini 2 SE Fly More is $519. A similar package for the Mini 2 is $599. It's an $80 difference, Ron. Yeah. $80, and you're getting a 4K camera. If you're going to spend that kind of money, you'll easily spend another $80. Am I right?
Yeah, I mean, and again, and you get the 60 frames per second in the 2.7K. And there's one other thing that they stripped away too, and I forget what the third thing is.
Yeah, and now the only thing that I'm not 100% sure of, and I want to wait until is the OcuSync 2, OcuSync 3, that kind of thing. See, I'm not 100% sure on that because I've read it both ways. And if somebody in the chat knows for sure, Lauren, if you know, just go, please go ahead and let us know, because I've seen it both ways. I've seen it absolutely both ways. So, and a good quote from Mark: the original SE was aimed at the Indian market, so I think the 2 SE is not really aimed at the majority of countries.
The Asian Pacific, that type of markets, I think, is the intended target for this drone. But that was also the intended market for the original SE also. So that's nothing new.
Okay, and Lauren puts down, okay, it's OcuSync 2. Thank you, Lauren. Okay, yeah. and that's good information. I mean, it makes sense, Ron, to me. Why would anybody? And it's one of those ones. It's a head scratcher, because I get that DJI wants to get more Mini 2s out the door, but dumbing it down and making it only an $80 price difference from the original Mini 2, it's not making much sense. It's a head scratcher for me.
Well, I mean, it's as simple as this, Bill. I mean, unless you own the Mini 1 or the Mini SE, there's no reason to buy this drone. If you own any other DJI drone, it's probably better than this drone. The Mini 2, Mini 3, Air 2, Air 2S. I mean, all. So the only reason, again, is the upgrade from a Mini 1 or an SE. And otherwise, before they pull the Mini 2 standard off the market in the US or Canada, just go out and get one any place you can. Refurbished, like you pointed out, Costco deal. Just grab the Mini 2 now and call it a day.
Yeah, I mean, there's no sense to wait for something like this. Looking at the other specs, which I have done, okay, ounce for ounce, this drone is going to fly just like a Mini 2. Okay, there's going to be really no difference with that.
I bet you did the blindfold test, you wouldn't even know which one you were flying.
Yeah, exactly. You wouldn't know. Okay, the range is going to be the same. The battery life's going to be the same. I mean, there's really, except for the camera here, you're not seeing
all the accessories are the same.
Yeah, and there's a few comments in the chat, and I get it here. About it being, for Asian countries, Southeast Asia, India, that kind of thing. And I understand that. But, and then somebody also put in the chat, well, you say it's not for the U.S. market, and then people are going to all of a sudden want to get it. All right. And I'll throw in a real quick example, okay? One of the ham radio manufacturers, Yaesu is their name. They're in Japan, all right? They discontinued two models, okay? They were semi-popular, all right? Within 2 days, every store in the United States was sold out of them, all right? Gone, okay?
Right. Yeah.
In ICOM, they're another big, ham radio manufacturer. They discontinued a model. Same thing, 2 days, boom, it was gone. You couldn't find it anywhere in the United States, okay?
Right.
And this is, DJI smart, okay? They're not, we shake our heads and we scratch our heads and we figure, what's going on here? But there's more than meets the eye with this, Ron.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Naturally by, who knows, 6 months, a year from now, there won't be any Mini 2s or Mini SEs available. And this will slot in as the only, budget drone DJI has.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes absolutely perfect sense.
But again, right now, go out and grab that Mini 2 now. If you don't have a Mini drone at all and you want a Mini drone, grab that Mini 2, grab the original Mini 2 right now, and you'll be good.
Absolutely.
If you're really cash strapped, if you're really a bargain shopper, run out and get that the original SE now because it's $70 cheaper than this.
Yeah. I mean, that's a real bargain. Okay. If you're looking to really cut corners and save price,
you don't care about 4K at all. Yeah,
exactly. If you don't care about 4K, you want to get a drone, the original Mini SE is absolutely golden. And
I mean, this of course, this has the advantage of the OcuSync 2 and all the advantages the Mini 2 had over basically the Mini 1 at that point or whatever. But again, if price is your number one concern, grab that Mini that SE for $299. You can get that refurbished for less than that.
Yeah, and it makes perfect sense, Ron. It really does.
And no matter how much we I hate to say hate in this drone, Bill and I don't hate in this drone, but for as much as we scratch our head in this drone, it's still better than the Holy Stones and the Roku and all those drones of the world.
Yeah, the Potenzics, the Holy Stones, the
Pretenders.
And I know you've tried them, Ron. I've tried them. I know Marcus does, and it's like, it's a pain. It's a real.
And they may say on the side of the box they have 4K, but it's the worst 4K video you've ever seen.
Yeah, it's in those gimbals.
Yeah, a whole lot of shaking going on.
There's a whole lot of shaking going on with those. I mean, it's just like there's nothing there. Okay, it's a price. Yeah, it's a price leader. It's going to draw people in, but that's about it. And people are going to find out what a piece of junk it is, and then they'll never buy another one, and it'll probably point them to DJI.
Yeah, right. You waste your first $300 or $400 on the drone, and then hey, I should have just got the DJI.
Well, I also said, and I've always said this, that DJI doesn't. They always are kind of like one step ahead in their thinking. Okay, and there's a reason that they're doing this. Okay. Obviously, they're going to clear out some inventory here, and Mini 2 sales will probably all kind of perk up a little bit and bubble up, and then getting ready for the next iteration. Okay, that's just my kind of thinking. I mean, they really are pretty savvy at marketing and in terms of creating that interest out there when because it's kind of dull right now, because. They just had Chinese New Year. It was a downtime for them. We really didn't have a whole lot of firmware updates, not a lot to talk about. And then boom, all of a sudden they're out there with this. Yeah. Okay.
But I think we've talked about this internally before. I think the reason a lot of people in our line of work, not really work, but is because we were hoping for a Mini 3 SE, a drone that was a hybrid between the Mini 2 and the Mini 3. So somewhere, better than the Mini 2, but not as good as the Mini 3. And instead we got a drone that wasn't as good as the Mini 2. So we kind of backpedaled around because, think about it. When the Mini SE came out, it was better than the Mini, but not quite as good as the Mini 2. So it was it was a step forward, Bill. But
exactly.
This isn't a step, ahead, really. This is a step behind the old outdated drone.
Mm-hmm. And And you and I talked about it, and Marcus too. And I said, my initial reaction was, I thought we're going to have a Mini 3 SE, okay, a
Right.
Mini 2 SE. I'm like, no. And I think I kind of get what DJI is doing. They probably have a lot of Mini 2s out there and available, and then all they have to do with this, somebody pitched it to somebody in marketing and said, all we got to do is tweak the software, dumb down the camera. We have another model we can sell.
And the Mini 2's paid for, its R&D's been paid for years ago. So R&D wise, it's free. Uh-oh. And speaking of free.
That's it. How we doing, boys?
Good.
Here's the man. He may have a Mini 2 SE behind him someplace, but he can't talk.
I'll tell you, I'll hit that button as soon as it's available.
Why don't you hit the Australian buy button, Marcus?
I could.
Or I heard it's in New Zealand too.
Yeah, see if I could get Ross to send one for me, or my buddy Rob in New Zealand would probably send me one.
There you go.
Yeah.
And it'll probably only cost you more than a drone to ship it over.
I did get some drone mail today.
From our friends at DJI?
Oh, no.
Our friends at Autel?
No. This is an aftermarket battery, Ron, for the original Hubsan Zeno.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Remember the original was 3,000 milliampere hours?
Yeah.
This guy right here is, I don't know if that'll focus or not. 4,300 anyway.
So you got the extended battery now.
Well, here's the deal. I still want to fly that drone once in a while. I mean, not every day, but just once in a while. Obviously, it's an old drone. It's got an old camera on it, all of that stuff. And those Zeno batteries are known to go bad. So I thought I'd try this and see if I do the trick. All the batteries that I had for it, the software would then give me an error saying, hey, the battery's bad. And so, pardon me, guys.
Yeah, I hope that solves your issues.
Yeah. So these are 3S batteries. There's 3 batteries in here. And what happens is the middle battery always goes bad on them. And it's got circuitry in there that detects that.
Those smart batteries.
So I probably got you guys off on a subject that you didn't even want to talk about. So
no. What said we right back in that Marcus is getting support from an older drone from a third party company. But if you are a Mini 2 owner, this is good news for you because you're going to have the battery is going to stay in production for a couple more years now beyond what it would have because of this drone. So Mini 2 owners original Mini 2 owners can buy new batteries for years now.
That's a good point, Ron. Having these parts around, because that's the biggest thing when a drone gets old, okay, and you go through, through iterations and you have some of these older drones. Say, like, for example,
did you go through that with the first Autel?
Oh, the first Autel with the extra premium.
There weren't people crazy complaining about this. They couldn't buy batteries anymore.
Oh well, for me. The batteries the original batteries were horrible, okay, and then Autel replaced them and put some good batteries out there. But then after they stopped supporting the XStar Premium, you couldn't find batteries anywhere, even on eBay, nowhere. They were not to be found. I mean, and you had a brick, you had an $800 brick. It was nothing. It was a paperweight, the orange pumpkin paperweight. Is really what it was. I mean,
so that won't happen with the Mini 2 because
it won't happen with the Mini
batteries for years
because of this. This is good news if you have a Mini 2 for sure. Without any doubt.
Did Ron already bring up the eBay sale on the refurbished?
No.
Well,
the one Johnny's highlighting.
Johnny sent both Ron and I a link to eBay. You can buy this is from the DJI store, a refurb DJI Mini 2 Fly More combo for $369.
The same price as the Mini 2 SE.
And we know those refurbs are like brand new. So
and remember, when you get the refurb from DJI, you get the same 1-year warranty as if the drone is brand new. Right.
And you can put care refresh on it. You can do all that stuff.
Yeah.
Wow. That's very, very, very interesting. Now, one of the things, you got to think, and I said this before you joined us, Marcus, to Ron, is, DJI doesn't do things by accident. Okay, there's a purpose behind this, and there's logic. Okay, and we see some of this because right now, to be honest with you, okay, it's like it was Chinese New Year. There haven't been a lot of firmware updates. There hadn't been a whole lot of shaking going on as far as that's concerned. And then boom, all of a sudden, DJI Mini 2 SE comes on the scene. All right. Gets everybody revved up again here. All right. March 22nd. And they're smart because it's not going to be till March 22nd. So people are all geared up again. Okay. And what else it's going to do? It's going to point people to look at other drones as well, too. So, there's a lot of method to DJI's madness here.
I'm thinking about DJI. Well, so did Ron tell you, Lauren Dunauer posted that the Mini 2 SE hit the FCC database now. So
yeah, I went over that before you joined. I had that up there. But what was real interesting was it hit the FCC database the day DJI announced it. It was on the 9th. I looked on the date on the FCC database. So it came out on February 9th, and that was the day DJI had the announcement on it, which was real interesting because, and I mentioned this before you guys joined, one of the drones I can remember very famously was the Spark, because they didn't put it on the FCC database until the day they released the Spark. Same thing here, okay? And it's out there, labels, everything, to your heart's content kind of thing. But
now it did hit, why do you think we're seeing the delay to the 22nd rather than, say, the Australia, New Zealand market that are getting it could be next week? I think it's part of their marketing and their hype up, Ron. I think it's going to pull in people to their website. They're going to look at things. You know what? Maybe I can afford an Air 2S, or, look at something like that. Or maybe I should think about a Mavic 3, I don't know.
Or buy a refurb Air 2S, or a refurb Mini 2 from the DJI store on eBay. Yeah.
And of course, Bill, they have to clear these kind of minor drones out of the way. The clear decks for the Inspire 3 coming out, maybe as early as the end of this month, next month.
That's true. That's very true.
You don't want the little Mini SE mucking up the Inspire release.
Well, that's going to be a big release. And I think people need to understand something with the Inspire 3, because I had some questions about that. People asked me several questions. This is not in any way, shape, or form a consumer type drone. Okay.
You mean I can't pick it up on sale?
Well, you won't be able to. You can pick it up, Ron, but it won't be on sale. Okay. And you better have a pretty large SUV to handle it. It's not gonna be small. Okay. And you better have a lot of coins in your piggy bank for it as well, too.
Well, hey, what's that company that finances your drones, Bill, when you go to purchase them on DJI?
Affinity or something?
A firm.
I bet you I don't have that much credit over at a firm to finance the
probably
Inspire
not.
3.
Hey, Ron, here's the deal, though. You do have the room. That piano over in the corner, if you just move that, you'll have room to.
Well, don't worry about that, because that baby grand will have to go on eBay for me.
You can hawk that baby grand to pay for the Inspire 3.
Yeah, they'll bring the Inspire 3 and they'll take the baby grand away with them. Yeah, that'll be the baby.
That's a deal.
So I spoke to Lauren this afternoon. I see he's in the chat, but he said, really, he feels like we could see it at any time.
So
because of that.
Second date may be out the window now.
Because of that FCC database. And I'll tell you, the other thing is, if you go on DJI's website, not the mobile site on your phone, but the one on your computer, they already have a tab for the Mini 2 SE. It's got all the accessories in it. It just doesn't have the drone.
Yep.
Interesting.
Mark Waite makes a good point. Yeah, you could go the payment route on PayPal too if you buy something over a certain amount of money.
Yeah.
But Mark, I'm still not going to do the Inspire on the PayPal payment plan. I would need the 20-year plan.
Yeah.
Hey, Bill, can I get a mortgage on that Inspire 3?
Probably you're going to have to get a mortgage on something like that.
Yeah.
because that's just that's insanity. You know, and I'm guessing, and it's just a conservative guess, you're probably going to look easily around $20,000 for that. Easily.
You think so?
Oh yeah, for the camera.
You're talking about the high end
and everything. Yeah.
Full frame camera, huh?
That full frame camera. Yeah, I'm guessing at least 20.
What if I get the stripped down model with the
stripped down maybe about 15K
with the 12 megapixel camera?
Yeah, with a basic kind of package. But to really get something that's going to work, you're looking at probably about 20 grand.
That's sticker shock.
Yeah, it's going to be real sticker shock for former Inspire owners who thinking they're going to want to get one again because it's going to hit them between the eyes.
Hey, I'm looking at the chat here, guys. I see John Coopy is talking about his Mavic Air 2 and needing remote ID. I think that DJI, they're just starting at the top. I think all of those drones, if they went back as far as the Mavic Pro Platinum, certainly that Mavic Air 2, I bet you will get remote ID.
Yeah.
Well, you know, the one, and I said this before you guys on, I covered Drone DJ had an article about that on the drones that DJI has on the remote ID list. And one of them that's missing, which is a real surprise right now, is the Phantom 4. Okay. But I expect that to be on there because there are so many of them out there right now. You know, and I'm also thinking other ones like the original Mavic Pro, you know, not just the Platinum, but the original Mavic Pro, the Spark, the original Mavic Air. So, but you know, you realize something, you know, they're having to go in and update the software and all these drones to do this. So, you know, it's taking some time and some effort, you know, because I had a couple of people say, when are they going to get this? I said, be patient because it's going to take a little bit of time to get this done. So,
yeah, and they got time. Hey, before we move too far on, Marcus mentioned John Coopy. I better congratulate John Coopy for his engagement.
Oh yeah.
We forgot to mention last night in Drone Nation, but John, I'm not giving any secrets. John announced it on social media, you know, that he's now engaged.
Actually, I think Crystal announced it, but anyway.
Okay, yeah. Hey, Hal, I'm giving out public information here, not private information.
Hey, so you just put it on there, Bill. I didn't want to miss that conversation. Quadcopters and Tech is saying $4,900 for the drone, and then Lauren is talking about depends on the package, etc. So, you know, just like I guess what you guys were talking about, depends on what camera you get and depends on how you put it together for the Inspire 3.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's going to run some serious coin. Real
$4,900. That's about the price of the Mini Mavic 3 City.
Yeah,
the Mavic 3 City almost $5,000.
Yeah.
But my friend Tanya has one of those.
The City. Yeah. She films in all that
ProRes. She does use ProRes. Yeah.
And what kind of computer does she do all the editing on?
You know, I'll be darned if I know.
It's not the Walmart sale model.
It certainly can't be. Yeah, I'm sure. You know what? Seriously, all kidding aside, what I appreciate about Tanya is that when she buys something, she buys the best one of what it is. You know, she doesn't skimp.
When she gets the Holy Stone, she gets the top end model.
She gets the top one. Yeah. No, I mean, Ron, you'd be jealous of her camera gear. I mean, I don't even understand it all. I mean, she has all
maybe Lauren won't. Did you hear Bill? Lauren got the new Canon ESO. What is it, R5 or 5R or whatever? Lauren can do 8K video, 120 frames per second.
Yeah.
Well, Lauren said I'm going to be surprised at the price, and see, Maddie says I'm going to guess upwards of 20K. So it's going to be real interesting.
Well, we're all over the place in these prices, Bill. But
well, it's going to be fun to see. That's something kind of exciting to see how that.
Look, hey, did you see that? Richard said, "How about the Inspire SE?"
Yeah. Well, they already have that. It's called the Inspire 1.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see what comes up with that because, you know, the other drone I actually got several inquiries on it was an Air 3. And I said, I would not expect anything on an Air 3 until second quarter here. Okay. You know, because, you know, it just timing and everything. I think you're going to want to see it then, because I don't know about you guys, but the weather we've had has been really crappy lately. I mean, this past weekend, 49-mile-an-hour wind gusts down here. All right. You couldn't even, when we drove to go out for our anniversary dinner, my Highlander was doing one of these going down the road.
The Mavic 3 wouldn't even know it was windy. No, Ron's been having great weather. You and I mean, it's been terrible.
Yeah, I've had 2 days in the 50s and sunny, and this is usually our worst month, so we were cheating winter here. But Bill, you better get rid of all those winds by April 1st.
I'm hoping.
You don't want any winds over Jensen Beach.
Well, it's been like, it was like 45, 46 this morning. I had to turn the heat on. It's just,
you might as well go back to Columbus, huh?
Yeah, third world. Yeah, exactly. Okay, I'm just like, it's kind of like third world problems here, so to speak. So, I'm sorry. I still got lingering.
I coughed for a month after I had just a regular cold. But to your point, Bill, it'll be a slow spring then, because we've had a spring release from DJI for 3 years running. We had the Air 2, Air 2S, and Mini 3 Pro, bam, coming out like, April, May for 3 years running. So it's going to be a kind of, what do you call it, an anti-Christmas or whatever if we don't get a spring consumer drone from DJI.
Oh, they'll get something. They got something up their sleeve.
And I don't mean an SE drone doesn't count, and a $20,000 drone doesn't count either.
No, you're talking about a consumer drone,
something that's an upgrade, yeah, not a downgrade.
Potatoes consumer drone, yeah.
So,
well,
guys, got any closing thoughts for tonight?
I wish I could fly. That's my closing thought.
Yeah, just that we finally got some kind of a clearer path of what's going on with this Mini S2 SE, because a lot of confusion last week, Bill, when Thursday came and went and it wasn't available for sale. And, we found out some things now that is available in other parts of the world. And, the FCC filing may be held up. So, again, we got some clarity on that. And you didn't touch on this, Bill, but this is kind of a hot topic, too, that the Mini 3 Pro, we'll see the Mini 3 series of drones, supposedly will get the SDK kit is already in the works, and it'll be available maybe as early as April or May.
Yeah, I did.
Third-party app.
Join me. I did cover that today, and I think that's huge because that allows a lot more creativity for those who are inclined to be able to program. That is going to be fantastic, and it'll
bring Waypoints to the Mini 3 series of drones via an app like Litchi or Maven.
Yeah, and that's going to be huge.
Hey, I got one more point I want to make before we sign off, Bill. And you guys just reminded me of it, talking about the Mini 3. And it's something that I didn't notice until I was editing the video on my last Mini 3 video, where with the firmware update. I got to looking, there were no focus issues. When it was close in, it was focused on me, and then when it took off, it was perfectly focused, very sharp, crisp focus. So I noticed that. So I can't say that it's that firmware update, but I wonder if that's one of the things that they did. I'm going to have to fly it some more to really say definitively, but I just noticed it when I was editing the video. The other thing I noticed is, did you guys see Ken Heron's recent video where he's flying the Mini 3 and he's in a
Ferris wheel? Yeah.
Well, as he's coming into that thing is so far out of focus. And he took off from the top of a car, so it was close in focus, and it took it a long time to refocus on him there. That was one of the first things that I noticed there. So I wonder I know it's not just me that has focus issues with that drone. I'm wondering if that firmware could have been a fix. I don't know. I can't wait to do some more testing. I'm going to purposely do some close up and far away and see how it does. Yeah.
So Ron, any
anyway, just something I thought of. So sorry to hold up the show.
Yeah, I already gave mine, Bill, on the SDK kit.
Oh, okay. Marcus.
Nothing. I wish I could go out and fly.
Yeah, I hear you on that.
Yeah.
It's the same here. I mean, we had 49, 50 mile an hour wind gusts that were just horrible over the weekend, and the temperatures dropped, and it's just, you know, it's spring. And, you know, this is very typical February weather for Florida, you know, with the high winds and the temperatures all over the place. You know, it ends up being in the mid 70s, but still dipping down into the 40s and 30s at night. And just, you know, there's no consistency. And usually until we hit
March. Here today. Bill, it snowed all night.
Oh, no. That's all I got to say. Guys, thank you all so much for tuning in tonight. Thank you for putting up with me and my Kim Carnes voice here and all that kind of stuff. Always,
you got Betty Davis eyes.
Great day to fly. Take care, everybody.
Good night.
Bye.
Sing Betty Davis.